February 2025 Song of the Month. This one is called Play That Chord. Very short story here. I wrote this the night before my Uncle Jimmy's funeral. And Uncle Jimmy was my great uncle. He was my dad's uncle who was closest in age to my dad. Excuse me. And he taught my dad how to play the guitar. And so my dad tells me when he was like 12 years old, Uncle Jimmy basically sat him down in a room and he said, Tommy, taught him a couple of chords, and he said, Tommy, play these chords until your fingers bleed, and then I'll come back and check on you. And it worked. But that's how my dad learned how to play the guitar. He really looked up to Uncle Jimmy, and well, when your dad looks up to somebody, you tend to look up to that person too. So, Play That Chord, Song of the Month, February 2025. 12 years old, guitar on my knee, an awkward sound coming off those strings. Uncle Jimmy walked in the room, he said, son, play it till your fingers bleed, then maybe someday you might sound like me. He said, play that chord and play it again. If you want to send your music out, you gotta put some good time in. Get back up when you fall, but if you can't, you know who to call. Uncle Jimmy was a mountain, like old St. Helens was, before she blew her top. She could not be stopped. And he was 12 years old when I was born. My hero growing up used to pat my head like I was a little lost pup. Seemed like everything he'd touch would turn to gold, and he could light up a room with the stories that he told. He'd say, play that chord and play it again. If you want to send your music out, you gotta put the good time in. Get back up when you fall, but if you can't, you know who to call. As I grew up and watched him, it occurred to me how he surrounded himself with our family. And he'd play one for Grandma and we'd all sing along while he picked her an old Bob Wills song. Our family gives us shelter like an old oak tree whose roots go down where you cannot see. And those who've gone before us are now in that ground. If you listen close, you can hear their sound. And they say, play that chord, play it again. We want to hear y'all's music. Put some good times in. Get back up when you fall. But if you can't, you know who to call. Then one night I got a call that I did not want to take. And they said, "Oh Jimmy, he is gone, but I know like him will never fade away." So I'm sitting here tonight, guitar on my knee, an old familiar sound is coming off these strings. I can hear him in my head, whispering, says, "You know what, Tommy? You sure sound a lot like me. So play that chord and play it again. You sent your music out, boy, 'cause you put some good times in. Get back up when you fall. But if you can't, you know who to call." Yeah, I know who to call. Song of the month, February 2025. See you next month.